Welcome to this marriage enrichment course. We'll share a little about ourselves in the first lesson, but here I would like to make a few introductory comments about the content of the course. We have chosen to record this as 3 separate lessons of around 30 minutes teaching by my husband Mark and I. In each lesson, there are also times to pause the video for private reflection or group discussion. However, do feel free to use the content as suits you. For example, you may want to use one lesson across 2 sessions. Please ensure that you have printed off the worksheets which accompany the lessons, as these contain the questionnaires which will be completed as part of the activities. Please keep these worksheets. At the end of the course, we will revisit the questionnaire that you complete as part of lesson 1. If you don't have these, please email us. We'll share our email address on screen at the end of these comments. Just a note for folk considering whether to use these lessons with a couple or a group, please maybe ask that you listen to all 3 before deciding. They need to sit together. Lesson 1 on its own will not give you an accurate picture of the course as a whole. You see, I want to acknowledge something before you start listening. As we go through the first lesson, you may be thinking, or rather wishing, that the course is more practical and more focused on tips and ideas. Don't worry, as we move into lesson 2 and 3, it does include many suggestions and practical tips with regard to our behavior in a marriage. There's a reason for the structure we have chosen. It's very important to first pay attention to who we are and then later look at what we do. You see, what we do, our actions and behavior, will flow out of who we are. And for God's children, this is who we are in Christ. How are we getting on in our walk with Him? Our character, our nature, our identity. We read in 2 Corinthians 5:17, "Therefore, if anyone is in Christ, the new creation has come, the old is gone, the new is here." How are we doing? Are we, as a new creation, growing in our walk with Christ? Are we increasingly showing the fruit of His Spirit in our lives? So do bear with us in this. In lesson 1, we look at the fact that marriage is God's idea and of great importance to Him. We see that our personal walk with the Lord has a great impact on the quality of all our relationships. We will complete a questionnaire to help us get to know ourselves and our marriage better. And finally, we look at the issue of dealing with past pain and hurt in our lives. In lesson 2, we look at expectations and the importance of matched expectations. We talk about identity and value. Also, our need for God's enabling. Then we move on to what I like to call the 5 T's. The first one being time. We discuss the importance of spending time together and outline many suggestions. And then finally, in lesson 2, we mention some dangers to be avoided. Lesson 3 is where we cover the remaining 4 T's, and we talk about the importance of trust, tolerance, team, and talking. I would also encourage you, as you listen, please allow the Lord to speak to your heart. He knows just what He wants you to learn from each lesson, and this will be different for each person. So do listen out for His word to you. During the course, you will hear us refer to the devotionals, Complete Surrender Part 1 and Part 2. These are 2 devotionals I have written and can be used to supplement some of the teaching in this course. They are available as PDFs, so do feel free to contact us on our email address, which will be on the screen now. It is our hope and our prayer that the thoughts shared in these lessons will be helpful to you and that your marriage will be enriched.
That's good.